I saw everyone on the podcast and I was like, okay, come on, I have to do something worthwhile to get on there. My goal for the end of this year was 500K in funding. And then just from the funded trader, I already blew that out of the water.
All right, guys, welcome back to the TFT podcast. We're here with Rafael Kimmel, prominent trader in the industry, YouTuber, guy that knows everything about prop firms. He recently reached max allocation with the funded trader, 600K, something you've been working towards forever. And yeah, it's a pleasure to have you on the podcast.
Yeah, pleasure to be on. I always was like, I saw everyone on the podcast and I was like, okay, come on, I have to do something worthwhile to get on there. And so I talked with you and I was like, okay, let's do this quick and then we'll have a reason for me to be on.
Listen, your 5K payout's not enough, man.
Yeah, dude, that's the thing. I compare myself a lot with other people that are in the industry and they're making a 10K, a 20K payout. And that's the struggle like that I personally have been feeling of, okay, long term or just make the quick bucks. Like, so yeah.
Yeah, so you're pretty young, you're 22, right? So how do you're saying right now you're struggling to balance sort of this situation where you're seeing all these profits online, right? And we don't know how much is true at the end of the day. And you're trying to grow your YouTube channel, you're trying to be informative with all the information, you're trying to be very honest and authentic. Like, tell us a little bit about this struggle. Like, I'm curious, like, you know, how much has this affected you in terms of like your trading, in terms of just your day-to-day business? You know, like how much actually does this impact you?
Yeah, I think it's something that is on my mind like constantly because there's always this balance of wanting to let people know that we should do this consistently, because ever since I started trading, the goal was, okay, get consistent, get a track record, get private investors and make money like that. And then prop firms came up and then I got into the social media game. And then now there's always this battle for attention in a way. And basically all the struggles come from me wanting to tell people I am doing this sustainably, but also me wanting to grow and show people, okay, this is possible by showing bigger payouts. And then I guess that comparing myself with other people also makes my 5K payout, for example, seem like nothing, you know? So it basically has hurt the industry a little bit for the people that are maybe going for a 10K challenge and they're getting their $500 payout and they think this is not enough. Like, I feel the same thing and I don't understand. Well, basically what I'm saying is that I try to fit my head around the fact that, okay, this is something that needs to happen long term. And if you do this sustainably, then you'll probably surpass the people that are blowing 50 challenges and then getting a 100K payout. But yeah, it's the thinking long term that starts to fade away when you see other people succeeding a lot.
Because you just want to jump the gun and like get paid, you know?
And then being present on social media makes me want to also have those jumps. So yeah, I think that's the biggest struggle. And I think it affects my trading sometimes, where now I released a series where I'm basically exposing one of the funded accounts that I have. And now every trade that I make has the pressure of, okay, now I have 10,000 people watching. And then also comes the fact that I'm risking 0.3 on that account. So it's like, okay, even if I have a profitable month, it's like 2K payout. Like, is it
substantial compared to what you see is out there?
Exactly.
In terms of the money that's being made.
So it's this balance that I'm still trying to reach between making it big or doing it long term, very sustainably, and that's it.
Yeah, I think like at least my feedback to that is it's all about the mindset and the mentality. What you'll learn, or you know, you're young, you're 22. When I was like, I'm 28 now. Like when I was 21, I cared a lot about what people thought, right? Like that's something that was ingrained in who I was and the culture and everything like that. And, you know, I wanted to rise up and beat other people and this and that. And it was certainly something that drove me, in a lot of things that I did. And then eventually I started to learn that it wasn't about, what other people had or what other people are doing or this and that or what other people thought. It was only about what I did. Right. Yeah. And what I thought and how I approach things and my mentality. Right. So I think at some point, like, you'll kind of ditch that. I think because you're in the social media spotlight, it's like making it such a prominent thing in your life and this and that. And it's only like to your benefit at the end of the day that I'm under this microscope and you're putting this pressure on yourself. It really does make you a better trader, makes you a better person at the end of the day. So listen, I think what you're doing is not easy by any means. Like it's way like, I mean, there's something to say about people who give signals. Like obviously a lot of people shit on people who give signals, but people that actually give the signals themselves, I'm not talking about the influencers that buy signals from someone else and then sell them as their own. People that actually give the signals themselves, like that is not an easy task to do. And it puts yourself at a very vulnerable state. You know what I'm saying? So for you to be out here showing your funded accounts, like showing everything that occurs on them, like, yeah, there's a substantial amount of pressure that comes with it. And that being said, like trading, it doesn't sound like is like your only source of income. Like it sounds like you are trying to transition and be more of an entrepreneur, right? Like how are you transitioning into that phase? Like what is your approach to actually trying to just have multiple sources of income?
Yeah, it's funny that what I'm going to say now is going to sound like I'm battling with everything in life. But for example, that's also a battle that you have when you are a trader because there's a stigma. And we were talking about this before the podcast. There's a stigma behind having various sources of income because people think that, okay, if you have other businesses, then you're not making money from trading when both can coexist. So all this journey of trying to build a business outside of trading is quite interesting. And I live with a friend that is also a business owner. So we're constantly back and forth about starting new ventures or thinking about using what we already have to make more or just make another business. So it's interesting, but once again, it's almost like this battle between then also the revenue numbers, because in Portugal, like, if I think of a new business in Portugal, we're talking like 5K per month. Mm-hmm. And that's when I put it to the test to, okay, what is more worth it? Is it worth it for me to start this new business or to put more attention into trading and YouTube and etc. to then grow the brand and grow trading and grow the trading accounts. And so, normally what I just do is scale what I already have. If it either is doubling down on YouTube or doubling down on the accounts that I have, because that's what happened this year, where I started this year with the low six figures in trading, and then I just thought, okay, let's ramp this up. I have the opportunity. I have the capital to do it, and so, and again, the opportunity to like work with the funded trader and etc. So let's just ramp things up, and that's where I got the maximum allocation with the funded traders. Also got a few allocations with other prop firms, and yeah, that's how I scaled up the year. So yeah,
that's pretty, to go from 100K to 600. It's big jump. you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So in terms of what you said about trying to create these other sources of income in like other industries, right? For me, I just focused on, like, this is my perspective, is I just focused on Forex. Like I just focused on trading, because you're in that battle where you're like, do I just focus more on this? Do I go in this direction? I can make 3K here, this and that, can help cover these bills, whatever. But my advice or my feedback to that would just be like, just focus, or what I did was just focused on one thing to the point where like my multiple sources of income became in this one thing. And, I knew so much about every single part of it that it's like now these sources of income can become substantial, as opposed to like, oh, I'm going to, start a restaurant and I'm going to start this and that, you know what I mean? And cleaning business. And then I'm be trader. Like, I feel like you got to lock in, especially as you're so young, like lock in on one topic. And then from there, you can just turn that one thing into like huge substantial amount of income, which it sounds like you're starting to try to do. Like you're reinvesting a lot of your money back into trading. It also sounds like, from what we've spoken about, you're potentially trying to get into the business side of trading. Obviously a hot topic right now is influencers, in prop trading, and influencers starting prop firms. So What do you think are like the positives and negatives to like an influencer starting a prop firm versus like just somebody who's a business owner starting a prop firm?
Yeah, I think that being a trader and starting a prop firm, you also need a business owner. Why? Because those are two completely different roles. Because one the trader understands the public that we are trying to reach, but then the possible business owner, so it would be the mathematician behind it, would understand the reliability of it. So, for example, if I'm listening to the traders, okay, they want a daily drawdown based on balance. They want a low profit to drawdown ratio. Okay, but then there comes the mathematician and says, okay, this is not reliable. Or if you want to make this reliable, you have to jack the prices up. So it's like, which one do you want to pick? And so I think that having the business owner, that is the person doing the financials, the numbers, and etc., is great for the prop firm. But then a trader CEO, and I think this is the route that you chose too. You understood, okay, this is something that is lacking in the market. It's funding. Like 2 years ago, the problem was, oh, I don't have enough money, and now prop firms have completely solved that problem. But I think that traders coming into it just add a more realistic touch and a bigger connection between trader and prop firm. And I think that's what happens with the influencers creating the prop firms. It's like you create this connection with the prop firm. It's not only a business that you're making a transaction with. It's with someone that you know, someone that you followed for some time. So, and I think it's a win-win situation at the end of the day. It's like you get more possible maximum allocations. Prop firms have to compete for your attention, and so there's all this win-win situation, I would say.
Yeah, and I think as a business owner coming into it, the biggest thing is them not understanding, like you said, the market, the customer. I mean, you're literally the trader. Like you have an account like with prop companies. You've been reviewing prop companies. Like you're an extremely, like if you were to hypothetically start a prop firm, like you are an extremely qualified person to be on the product side of the business, right? And the marketing side of the business, because you just understand it in and out. But at the end of the day, there has to be people that understand the financials and understand the risk and understand strategy and all of that stuff. So I think that that's important. I mean, I wish the best for all the new ones that are out there. I know you're trying a lot of different ones out. What's like a new firm that you've tried out, which you're like, this is actually kind of cool?
I think the newest one that I've tried out was my funded FX. This was the newest one. Then you have really new ones, two new ones that were created by influencers that I know. And those I haven't tried out yet. I have accounts with them, but I haven't actually executed. So I wouldn't be able to say that. But the only newer one, because they're not new, they're 1 year old, was my funded FX. But yeah, those are, I'm currently funded with my Forex funds, the funded trader, and True Forex funds. And then I'm looking to get funded with other companies, but yeah, like those are the ones that I have the most experience with, and that's what I tell people to go for. It's like go for the reputable ones. Nothing against people releasing new ones, because everyone was at that stage. The funded trader was at that stage.
Yeah, you remember when I messaged you? I was like,
exactly.
Hey, review my property. You're like, dude, get out of here.
Yeah, exactly. And the same thing that I told you is the same thing that I tell all the prop firms. Is like, would I love to post about every prop firm and then have affiliates for all of them? Of course, I would make so much more money, but it's like, it's not worth the possible reputation hit when people get scammed. And I got, this is funny. There's one guy that was talking about people having affiliate links in the description while he was making a video about prop firms. And then in the same video, he said sorry because he promoted two prop firms that were a scam.
Right.
Like, and I saw his whole videos and he already promoted 4 scams. And I'm thinking, okay, who's more reputable here?
Not
Me for having affiliate links, but telling the honest truth and going for the good ones, or you that just promote whatever the fuck you want to promote. So yeah, that's how I look at it.
Yeah. I mean, like, so for anyone, you're a trader right now, you have 600K, capital allocation, you have multiple accounts with other firms. You've also grown this YouTube channel. How many subscribers do you have on YouTube right now?
30,000.
30,000 subscribers on YouTube. What I'm not even gonna ask like in terms of when you started, like what the motivation was. Like right now that you actually have traction in the market, right? Like what are some of the things that you're looking forward to, things that you're excited about, like about your current position right now?
So right now I'm looking to expand the business in general. I don't know if that was a question of how I want
However
to
you wanna
expand
answer.
mine,
Yeah, go
or
ahead.
what I'm looking for in the prop firm industry, because you have both. Like I'm looking to expand my business and trading in general. So not only getting more funded, even though I don't know if I'm not doing challenges anymore, because my goal for the end of this year was 500K in funding. And then just from the funded trader, I already blew that out of the water. And so I was like, fuck, do I go for the next level, or do I just stick around and make the consistent withdrawals now? But then, so I'm trying to grow those two businesses, the YouTube and funding capital and getting money from the funded accounts itself. Yeah, and then with the prop firm industry, looking for the no time limit to now become a new standard. See how prop firms are competing with each other while still remaining sustainable. Because again, I've told people, don't go for the super easy ones; they're a scam. But yeah, I think that's the way that I would love to see the industry grow, and I think that that's the trend now. It's people are going to continue to go for prop firms. It's like, I don't know if you said there are 70. I don't know if there will ever be, if the market is going to be saturated, because as you said, like if there's money in a business to be made, then a lot of people are going to make money.
Yeah,
So
it's gonna be players. It'll be big players, it'll be small players, but everyone will try to play. I think regulation will stop a lot of people from being able to get in some ways, but that's U.S. Like there's, you get regulated somewhere else, whatever. There'll be these businesses kind of all over the place. So in terms of your goals right now, right? Like what are some goals of yours in terms of like maybe materialistically, you're trying to get to in the next like 2 years or so?
in the next 2 years, I wouldn't be able to tell you, but for this year, my goal was to make 100K from trading and 100K from other business ventures. And yeah, I think that's mostly what I work towards. Then I'm not that much of a materialistic person. I just chill around. I don't know how to
You just
spend
said you
money.
wanted a Rolls Royce. So
No, I said that's a nice level to achieve.
Okay.
Who know, like if I had the 100 million, I would probably buy the Rolls Royce. But
you think very similarly to me. You're like, if that's 0.1%,
yeah, exactly,
of my net worth,
yeah, I don't think
I'm all in.
Yeah, I'm not the type of person that likes to spend money and be flashy and hey, look at me. I'm more of a hey, this is me. I'm a normal guy. So
let me ask you a question. If I were to give you $1 million, what percentage would you put in crypto? What percentage would you put in stocks? And what percentage would you put in funded account challenges? Yeah.
$1 million. So I would probably put 50K into challenges.
Okay.
Just because like 50K gives you, so that's
pretty modest. 50K.
10 million in challenges.
Something like that.
So it's like, do I need that much more?
We need the math guy.
But yeah, that's like 10 million into crypto. I would wait for the next crash. Then I would probably put like 300K or something. And then the rest into stocks. I think stocks is more of the way that I'm moving towards, like for long-term wealth. I have my own stock portfolio, and that's where I keep, that's where I make my passive income. But yeah, I don't know. It's because the market is now in a strange place where I think the market is moving lower.
The world's ending.
Yeah, the world is ending.
Yeah.
But the people in the market are making the most amount of money. So yeah, I think that's the split that I would make, like 50K into challenges.
That's an interesting split. So
I wouldn't put that much.
I put out of $1 million I had, I put 37% into crypto. I put about how much? Probably about 55% or whatever into stocks. And then I put, like you said, about 50K or about 70K into this new project. That's not a challenge, but it's like a prop. It's like a prop firm thing. It's actually not a prop firm. It's a website that reviews prop firms. So it's like, is that like a reviews prop firms? It's basically like a dashboard, and you can then see the information from all of the prop firms, and you could do like comparisons as to which ones you want to work with. And so it's kind of like an affiliate site in a way. So my goal is to try to build the largest affiliate site of TFT. That's like, and it's called the Prop Firm Journal. It's like a spin on the Wall Street Journal.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So
I've thought about it. I have a Discord already created.
These sites make so much money. It's like it's insane. But yeah,
that's if the SEO is on point, then people
you need like blogs on them. You need someone to do videos for content. You need to have all your affiliate links up to date. Like, it's a lot of work to actually maintain one of those affiliate sites. You need to be doing deals with freaking all the prop firms. Like, I mean, even us, like, we don't do we honestly only do 2 deals right now with like affiliate sites, like in terms of like, hey, pay for a spot on our website. You know what I mean? And most of them are like kind of bullshit. Like, honestly, like they're like, hey, give us 30K and we'll like put you to spot number 1. And then they like violate violate the contract. They're like, move you to number 2 because someone else paid more.
Yeah.
There's a lot of this shit going on, and I think that it's it's kind of bullshit. So we don't pay that much for promotion. Like, we pay for some like paid advertising and shit like that. But yeah, that's my new project that I've been working on. It's like started and it stopped and this and that. And it's been kind of annoying, but we're gonna make it happen. But yeah, interesting that you said the split with the 50K. I think I put out a poll recently, and I was like,
oh, 50K is the exact number.
I put out a poll recently, and I was like, what would you take, 100K cash or 500K funded account or $2 million in challenges? And like 40% of people said $2 million in challenges. And I'm like, you just take the 100K cash and buy fucking challenges.
Yeah.
Go buy more challenges. Yeah. Like, people are crazy.
Why not go for the 500K and then
if you're confident in the trading, most people aren't.
I would go for that.
Tell us a bit about like, how'd you actually get into trading? How old were you?
I was 18 when I got into trading, and I joined a Forex signal provider first. Obviously, did not work. But then I found the first community that I was on, started learning for around a year. Like, I fell in love with trading with the Forex signals, which was actually kind of crazy. But I was always a financials guy. So I remember when I was 16 going with 200 euros to the bank and ask, how can I invest this money into the S&P? And it was funny because the guy just brought out the spreadsheet, and he was like, okay, this is how much you want to invest. This is the commissions you are going to pay. And this is the return you need just to break even. It was like 30% per year. Right. And I was like, okay, maybe I'll wait a little bit. So once I found trading, it was almost like linking the financials side of me, the person that loves the companies, the investing, the stocks, into making money consistently. So that's how I got in. And then it was community, then going into SMC, and then ended up finding ICT. And I don't know how I found smart money concepts before I found ICT, because people would always ask me, do you know about ICT? And I was like, no, who's that? But yeah, then started diving into his content, and that's when I got this more consistent profitability of not big returns. And I guess that's one of the reasons I compare myself so much too. Like, not long ago, I was looking at my Notion, and I was like, okay, I'm 15% up for the year. That's not a lot. Like, if I think about that and possible returns in money, that's not a lot. And so that had a negative impact on my trading in general. So yeah, that it was interesting that the comparison game is what fucks me up. The old
journaling came back to bite you in the ass.
Yeah. But yeah, then found ICT and dived into the content. I spent like, 6 months diving into the content more in depth. And yeah, then it was going for the challenges itself.
As someone who I've never watched an ICT piece of content, right? People are probably like, what is ICT, this and that? Like, how can you explain this phenomenon? Like, why is it actually transformed your trading?
I think that one of the biggest things that transformed my trading with ICT is that he's so confident with what he teaches that it just makes you be confident with what he teaches. It's like, if you are telling me this business is going to work, it is going to work, I don't have no doubts, probably I'm going to think, yeah, this is going to work. So him with his strategy, his overconfidence was what struck me the most, because I finally became very confident in my trading too. And then you have the fact that what he teaches just works, and he shows it working, and he's been around for so long, and he's built a reputation since, like, I don't know, like 2000 and at least 16 from being on YouTube. So people gravitate towards it because of that, and he inspired a lot of people that now trade smart money. Like he says, I'm the mentor of your mentor, and I kind of see why he says that. But yeah, that's why so many people gravitate towards him. It's like the confidence is contagious, and then it kind of creates this cult, because he's like, oh, it's me against all of these mentors, because they're just repackaging. But I think it's what you said with the funded trader. Like, you want either people to love it or to hate it. And I think ICT goes for the same thing. You either love him or you hate him. So I think that's why he has such a big impact in the industry, and because he's just proven it for so long. Like, and then people are going to say
he's not wrong. I follow him on Twitter, so I read up his tweets and stuff, and he's very adamant about. There's people like calling him out, I guess, all the time. Like, I randomly read stuff, and I'm like, what is it? And he's just like telling them to block him, whatever. And I'm just like, he has taken that stance where literally it's, I know what I know, and I believe in what I know, and the opposite of that is a lot of bullshit. So I'm just going to continue to go in my own direction. And if you don't like it, fuck off. And if you do, hop on and let's go. And I think that that's the mentality that a lot of people gravitate towards, and they enjoy just from an entertainment standpoint, but also just from like, he's a leader of people. So I think that he's doing a good job. Listen, the psychology is the biggest thing in trading, from what we've seen. So if this guy's elevated your level of confidence, and like you said, in terms of like business, like I come to you and I'm like, this business model is going to work. Here's my track record, and you're positioned to do exactly what I'm telling you to do. No, like, you're going to be all in, you know what I'm saying? And he's giving you all the tools. So that's amazing that you found him. Obviously I wish that you continue to have success in everything that you're doing with trading, with the funded trader. This weekend's going to be, a big weekend for you, big weekend for everyone. So excited to have you here. But listen, hopefully the next pod that we have you on, we're talking big payouts, everything like that after the 600K. So thanks for being on the pod.
More than happy to be here. So let's have a good weekend.
Yeah, thanks.